Well, that is what we call a Jurrien Timber admiration. We who really like ballers, even though we don't support Arsenal, we not eat that. Their players are really exceptional at the club of Arsenal. The likes of Odegaard, Zinchenko, William Saliba, Gabriel Jesus, and they now have another exceptional player, that is Jurrien Timber. And he's not only admired by us, but even his fellow players that don't play for Arsenal admire this player, and they would like to see him take his services to their respective teams they play for. And that's what we're here to talk about onto this channel, that is the Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Ibrahimovic has gone ahead and obviously told us what really hindered Balloteli to become one of the best players in the world, yet he had huge potential to obviously hit that ceiling, and obviously Xhaka has gone ahead to hit another milestone with his national team, that is Switzerland. So hope you guys are really doing great and you're having a wonderful evening, and we're here trying to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as all this is really concerned. Rokani David is my name. You can as well call me Aradi. Let's continue to flow. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barak Lau Fikum, and obviously let's start it off and do the following. Now, Gravenberch, he was asked on which player he admires, to obviously see to it that he plays with at Liverpool, and he said not this. Let me try to obviously get this tweet right. There is a tweet that he obviously wanted to put out, that he was asked if there is a player that he would love to see him join him at Liverpool, and the answer was none other than Jurrien Timber. And Gravenberch went ahead and obviously revealed as to the reason as to why he wants Jurrien Timber to obviously coming through and join him. All right, we thank God, I finally have it. It's here. Now, Gravenberch was asked on who he would sign if him and the Dutch gang try to recruit another compatriot to Liverpool. He said, I would maybe go for a good friend of mine, Jurrien Timber. I played my whole life with him. He's like a brother to me, so that's why I would choose him. That is it. So he's an open guy, and he's always talking about Jurrien Timber. This guy is talented, and his talent is being felt and appreciated by other players because he's really important, especially to the team. Remember, Liverpool was so much linked to Jurrien Timber before Arsenal launched a bid to sign him, and because Liverpool wanted to obviously first strengthen their midfield, they did the needful to obviously get Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister in the midfield plus Endo. But if a chance was there, even for Jurgen Klopp would have gone ahead to go in for this guy, because the guy is really levels. And I would love to obviously let you know that things aren't the same at Liverpool without a player like Jurrien Timber. Why? Jurrien Timber would have gone ahead to give them a central defensive cover, a full-back cover, and a midfield cover. That is it. So he's really a very good player. With the aging of Joel Matip, I think would have gone ahead to come in through and obviously as a replacement and a backup before Matip leaves, and bring in what we call elite footballing skills at that side of Liverpool. You see to it that he's out of the team of Arsenal injured, but even the Arsenal side is missing him because of what he brings to the team. And that is very much known to many, if at all you know the game of football. And I think no team wouldn't have gone ahead obviously like to sign this player, and his admiration is beyond what other people believe, that has gone ahead to obviously not is beyond what some other people even don't think he reaches there. But his levels are really high. That is Jurrien Timber for you. And he was first admired by Erik ten Hag. And for Erik ten Hag, he knows his capabilities better because he pulled him from the academy and promoted him to the first team of Ajax. And he was the first player that he recommended Man United to sign when he was coming in at Man United, but he found himself in a situation that Jurrien Timber was threatened by Louis van Gaal, and he obviously told him that if at all you are not going, if at all you go to Manchester United and don't displace Harry Maguire, and you don't get ample playing time, I'm not taking you to the World Cup. That's why he was told. So he was threatened, and he never obviously trusted Erik ten Hag, and he said, I'm not coming. That is it. But that was like a blessing in disguise for Jurrien Timber, because a year later, he's now at Arsenal and playing very, very well. Though he got an injury, but Arsenal fans are missing him. There is a very huge void in that team of Arsenal without Jurrien Timber being present, because he would have gone ahead to offer a lot to that team of Arsenal. You know, that left back, Zinchenko plays there very well, but the problem is he doesn't balance the two, the defensive and the offensive side. But Jurrien Timber, while playing there, he gives you both. The defensive and the offensive sides are really great. Now, if Jurrien Timber was really present at Arsenal, he would have gone ahead to obviously see to it that he piles more pressure onto Zinchenko, and then the other player that is Ben White would have gone ahead to feel the pressure from Jurrien Timber and Tomiyasu, because it would have been very hard for the manager of Arsenal to really play Ben White every game, you know, and substitute Zinchenko for Tomiyasu if at all things were obviously going on like that, and Jurrien Timber was really present. But his absentia has gone ahead to obviously see Arteta not having a very huge headache. But he's a very good player. I admire him, and I think he's one of those players that came in at Arsenal and fit into that team like a glove. No sooner had they signed him. That is Jurrien Timber for you. So Gravenberch admires Jurrien Timber. And guys, he's a talent, he's a gem, and we can obviously agree that he's really one of those that you can reckon with when it comes to talent and being able to execute that talent on the field of play. That is it. So Jurrien Timber is obviously one of those players that has been admired by these players. Now let's go to the other story coming in from the former Arsenal assistant captain or vice captain, that is Xhaka, who signed for Bayern Leverkusen. This summer. He said, Arsenal former midfielder Xhaka won his 118th cap for the Switzerland national team in a 3-3 draw with Belarus last night, making him the all-time appearance holder of his country, level with Heinz Hamann. Congratulations, Xhaka, an outstanding achievement. Now, these are things that are really hailed so much in the Western world. He is the most capped player for the Swiss national team, and he deserves it because he has been here for a very long time. He's just 31, but when you look at the way he plays and the intensity applies on the field of play, Xhaka looks like he's 25, 26. His energy levels don't drop, and he's being ambitious. He's really one of those that never really goes below the belt. That is Xhaka. And having gone ahead to hit that milestone, obviously, he's really one of those players that you'll obviously look at and understand what exactly they bring on the field of play. And this guy is really one to watch and give him a benefit of doubt that is going to become one of the best players in the world. And there is no doubt that he's obviously one of those that really left a very huge mark at Arsenal, having fell out with the players, with the fans of Arsenal. Arteta made sure that he obviously plays him very well, and guess what happened? He found himself in a position of really getting the team where it deserved to be the following season, after Arteta told him that add more 2 years on your contract and I see a lot of capability in you. And that is great to Mikel Arteta, because he has obviously gone ahead to revamp careers of very many players at Arsenal, and I think this is one of the things that he is good at doing, and he's going to have to prove to us that he can continue doing this left, right, and center at the club of Arsenal. And Xhaka is really a very good player, and he's obviously putting Bayern Leverkusen on top of the Bundesliga, if at all I'm not misquoting. But he's one of those people that we are signed by Xavi Alonso to go there and obviously do the job, and is doing the job better and better and better. Lastly, let's talk about what Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who played with Mario Balloteli when still young at Inter Milan, having a huge say about his career and what obviously prevented him from matching the ceiling of the talent that he really represented. Now, Ibrahimovic on Balloteli said he had so many opportunities to take advantage of his talent and change his future. He never did. That's the truth. There are so many who want to have only one chance. He has missed all the opportunities he has had. Obviously, if I told you know what Balloteli was about, he was a player that could obviously do magic, left, right, and center. He was a very good player, but his temper and his lack of discipline really costed him his career to the bone marrow. And I think when he sits down right now, he obviously regrets what he didn't do. Because at the age of 19, as you see him there with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he was playing at the topmost level of football. And he was bought by Man City. He came in at Man City and he did what he had to do. But he couldn't obviously match the levels and requests of the managers there, because the modern managers are really good at calling in for what we call discipline. If at all you are indisciplined, stuff can obviously not go your way, especially when it comes to modern football. And modern football is really huge, and the managers really want to take full control of everything that is being put up in there for you. So I would love to obviously see what Balloteli says later, like 2 years from now, whether he misses out onto what would have gone hate to be or not. Because by that time, he was one of the most talked about players in the world, and he was being looked at, and the world waited for him to arrive, and he couldn't arrive, And that gave players like Kun Aguero to do their work, players like David Silva to do their work. Even Edin Dzeko came in through and obviously had a better stay at Man City than Mario Balloteli. And you saw to it that every time Mario Balloteli really charged, to see to it that he puts in his energies, he obviously went ahead to thrive and became a very good player. So it looks like he was a person who obviously failed himself. So he's a person who failed himself, and he has no one to blame if at all things never went the way he wanted them to go. So he's the reason to blame. So guys, tell me what it's about. Jurrien Timber admiration continues, obviously coming in from a Liverpool player that plays with him at the Dutch national team, that is Ryan Gravenberch. Then what do you make about Granit Xhaka becoming the most capped player for the national team of Switzerland? And lastly, we discuss, I want your thoughts about Mario Balloteli, whether you think it was for his own doing to prevent him become the player that he was supposed to be or not. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I thank God for the gift of life. Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. We are out. See you later, my mates.